Prime Minister's Address, Regional Human Development Report 2025 launch, event details. Thursday, September 18, 2025, launch of the Regional Human Development Report 2025. Theme, Leadership Under Pressure and Opportunity in Crisis. Venue, Diplomatic Center, Port of Spain. Good evening to Ms. Michelle Mouchet, United Nations Assistant Secretary General and Regional Director for Latin America and the Caribbean, UNDP, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Members of Parliament and Senators, representatives of independent offices of state, including the Honorable Chief Justice, the Speaker of the House, and the Tobago House of Assembly, Their Excellencies and members of the Diplomatic Corps representing the European Union, CARICOM Secretariat, and the embassies and high commissions of the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Jamaica, Cuba, China, Mexico, Chile, Argentina, the Dominican Republic, Germany, Brazil, and the Netherlands. I also extend greetings to Mr. Hugo Blanco, UNDP Resident Representative for Trinidad and Tobago, Aruba, Curaçao, and St. Martin, other members of the United Nations family, and our international development partners. Permanent secretaries and distinguished officials from our various ministries, including planning, agriculture, culture, defense, education, energy, finance, foreign and CARICOM affairs, health, homeland security, housing, justice, labor, legal affairs, social development, public administration and artificial intelligence, public utilities, local government, sport and youth affairs, tertiary education, transport and civil aviation, and works and infrastructure. Welcome also to leaders of our institutions and agencies, including the Institute of Marine Affairs, the Environmental Management Authority, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, the National Payments and Innovation Company, and the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, representatives of civil society, academia, faith communities, and the private sector, members of the media, and all distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends gathered here this evening. Leadership in an age of global uncertainty. Leadership in this modern era must rest on three anchors: the courage to act when the path is unclear, the discipline to prepare before the next wave strikes, and the imagination to design solutions fit for tomorrow, not yesterday. It is with this conviction that Trinidad and Tobago is proud to host the regional launch of the Human Development Report 2025. For in times of upheaval, these reports are more than numbers. They are a compass reminding us that true progress is measured not in GDP alone, but in the quality of our classrooms, the strength of our healthcare, the fairness of our justice, and the dignity of our people. The report's dire warning to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago's place among the very high human development nations was earned through sacrifice, investment, and resilience. But it is slipping, and this is a warning. We cannot rest. We must act with urgency, with vision, and with resolve. Warning also for Latin America and the Caribbean region. Across Latin America and the Caribbean, the pattern is clear. We have made progress, but it remains fragile. In just one generation, poverty was cut in half. Yet today, 1 in 4 people still live in poverty, and another third live so close to the edge that a single shock could push them back down. The Human Development Index, which once rose steadily year after year, slowed sharply after the mid-2010s. Then came COVID-19, which caused the first decline in the index in our history. Recovery since then has been uneven and uncertain. Today, our region faces uncertainty levels that are 50% higher than the global average. And the truth is, crises no longer come one at a time. That is what this report rightly calls a polycrisis. The conclusion is undeniable. Business as usual is no longer an option. The report's regional breakdown. Here in the Caribbean, we live these contradictions every day. Growth is recorded in reports, yet inequality endures in households. The report highlights 3 great stressors pressing upon us all: technological disruption, social fragmentation, and climate emergency. From these mounting pressures, we must chart a new path, one of resilient human development, a model where progress is not fragile, where a single crisis cannot erase decades of hard work, and where every gain is protected and shared. And this vision calls for action we can all understand, such as protecting small states through debt for climate swaps and catastrophe-linked financing, building regional value chains in food, health, creative industries, and renewable energy so our economies grow together, expanding Caribbean risk pools and early warning systems to shield our communities from natural disasters before they strike, and confronting cross-border crime with stronger intelligence sharing, coordinated maritime security, and recovery strategies that rebuild trust in communities most affected. In this way, resilience stops being a slogan and becomes a safeguard for our people, our region, and our future. How these findings relate to Trinidad and Tobago. The global challenges outlined in this report have their own Trinbagonian face. Yet even as we confront these pressures, we must also recognize the immense potential before us. Digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and new technologies are not merely tools, they are accelerators of human development. When harnessed responsibly, they can expand access to education, improve public services, and create new pathways of opportunity. But if we fail to act, they can also deepen divides. Our national strategy must enshrine digital access, AI governance, and innovation ecosystems that empower every citizen. Trinidad and Tobago is proud to host this Caribbean launch. It is not only a formal event, it is a reaffirmation of our unwavering commitment to sustainable, inclusive, people-centered development. My government is committed to building mechanisms that help us navigate uncertainty with clarity and purpose. We will construct institutions that embrace complexity and respond with agility. We will invest in infrastructure that empowers communities in Trinidad and in Tobago. We will create an environment where every citizen in every community feels seen, heard, and served. And these are not abstract policy goals. They are the foundations of a prosperous future for Trinidad and Tobago and of sustainable development for our Caribbean region. They are reflected in the Regional Human Development Report 2025, launched today under the title Under Pressure: Recalibrating the Future of Human Development in Latin America and the Caribbean. Praise for UNDP for their work in Trinidad and Tobago over the years. I sincerely thank the United Nations Development Programme, its leadership, its experts, and its staff for years of steadfast partnership with Trinidad and Tobago and with our wider Caribbean. The UNDP has walked alongside us in building schools, strengthening governance, advancing digital transformation, and now in charting a future of resilience. Their work is not just analytical, it is practical, people-centered, and enduring. For this, I extend my government's gratitude, and I look forward to continuing this journey together, turning evidence into action and vision into reality. Conclusion. As I close, I note that the title of this report is Under Pressure. My pledge is this: under pressure, Trinidad and Tobago will not retreat. We will lead. To UNDP and Ms. Michelle Machette, I extend deep gratitude for the rigor of this report. To Hugo Blanco, I thank you for the candor of your message, reminding us of both our achievements and our unfinished business. Now it falls to all of us, governments, civil society, the private sector, our youth and diaspora, and allies around the world, to act with courage, imagination, and faith. Together, let us turn risk into resilience, pressure into progress, and uncertainty into opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago, for the Caribbean, and for all humanity. And I thank you